Yeah, we'll go full mini map. Yeah, so we're live now.
I click in invite almost.
The soft.
Oh,
Go on in.
I activated.
Okay. With the wet setup then, how far into the race is the rain?
Halfway starts.
How many laps is the race, you know? You could do the wet setup for quali, Egley, because you should be able to hit 131s, 132s. And it's a good setup, the wet setup. Oh, stick with, yeah, what would you do, Di? Stick with the dry setup? Alright then. Alright, good luck in the race, boys. Go on, I'll add him. Yeah, I've done it.
Right. Okay, let's meet you.
Yeah.
I already have sub, so this is your load.
Oh. You're right, Dylan. Good luck in the race tonight, mate. I'll give you a bit of screen time, alright? Alright, good luck, boys. And here we are, we're live at the Paul Ricard circuit in France for PSF1. Just find out who's further along on the track. Big Dave's on a lap. We'll stay on board with Big Dave, see how he goes. Nice through turn 1, turn 2. Big Dave choosing the mediums, which I think is the way to go. France being a high weight on the tyres. Coming up now to the back sector. We'll come out of this left, right and left over the DRS onto the back straight. Flat out. Up into a left, right chicane. One note is for drivers to stay away from the inside curb of turn 12. It's renowned for pulling you in. Pulls you in, spins the back of the car around and unsettles it. So really you don't want to get on the curbs of turn 12. Take this flat out. Probably up the 6th gear. Back to 3rd. Stay away from the curbs here. Let the car drift out wide and ride the curbs. Big Dave now just rounding out the last part of the lap. Nicely round the last corner. Pop open the wing now. Heading to the line. A 30.2. Not a bad lap. There's a bit more time to be had in them mediums. See how Zane is. Just dropping down the hill now. Coming up to the back straight now. He's looking good at the moment. Nice turn in there on the softs. Tekken looks like he had a terrible flying lap. Nice to see Dilmos back in the car tonight. As we see Tycho go in provisional pole on a 28.8. But I think that time will tumble again. There's still more to be had on a 28.8. Zane's still going well. Coming up, just closing out the lap now. Round the last corner we go. Over the DRS. Should have put him good. Nice second place, 29.2. 4/10 the diff. Tekken's boxing this lap. Nice to see No Future to See he's joined. On board with Stanman now. On the back straight. Looks like Stanman's got a good setup in the McLaren tonight. Round out to a flat right hand there. Should drop it back 3, maybe drop it back 4. And invalidates by drifting out too wide. So I take it. Oh, he's staying out? I thought he might have boxed. He had timed the box. But he'll probably go again. He got enough ERS, 50% crossing the line. A 130.1 on mediums. Would have put him in 34th place ahead of Big Dave. MSA Samad, No Future to See on an outlap. On board now with CH55 Max on an outlap. Carlos also on an outlap. Egley still in the pits. Dilmos crossing the line now to go P5. Good lap from Dilmos. Another runner on the mediums. I think medium tyres is the way to go around France, doing a one stop. Mediums are hards. I think the pit lap strategies is around about lap 12, maybe lap 13, and then hards to the end, easy one stop. I think Dylan might be going for a second flyer here. We'll see where he is now, if he's up or down as he hits the second time and split. Yeah, I think he's backed out. Yeah, looking after them tyres. Tycho's still provisional pole on a 28.8, but I do honestly think that time will drop. On board now with MSA Samad, No Future to See as he's better known. On the medium tyres. Egley's out on an outlap. Taking as much curb before turning left. Carrying a little bit more speed. Into 8th now, he'll take this corner now flat. Nicely through there, drifting out wide. Cutting back in, dropping down. Max has retired from the session, so Max has had a problem and lost it somewhere. We may get to see where, sector 3. As MSA Samad comes up behind slow traffic, that'll unsettle him just a little bit. Heading now, DRS open, heading to the line. Centre of the track. 28.9 to go second. Only a 10th separating First and second. Ooh, that was a bit naughty, that was now. MSA Samad. Shouldn't have done that because the car behind was on a starting his flying lap. So the car that he's just pushed off wide. Big Dave crosses a 29.1. We'll see if we can find someone lower down that hasn't set a lap time. Dilmos is in the pits. Egley Usher. Going well on the softs. I think he'll be boxing, will he? No, he's going to finish the lap off. It could be a good lap. A 1:30 puts him 8th. Still a bit more time to come out of the Ferrari driver tonight. Drop down Tekken's just cruising. On board now with Kuna Matata. He's backed out. We've got yellow flags in sector 2. That's going to be a slow driver letting someone past. Stay on board now with Di Miles. Let's see what Di Miles can do. Onto the back straight we go now. DRS pop open. He's moving a little bit on the steering. Got a slow moving car in front of him that should get out of the way quick. Clips the inside curb. Lovely. Ferrari out of the way. Red Bull to his right. So far so good for Di Miles. Di Miles now come up to the last corner. Flicks it right now. Gentle on the power. Nice. Hug the left hand side of the track. Straightest line to the line. Crosses the line. 29.8. 7th. Good lap, Di. Back on board with Egley. Egley into the pits. Nicely. Don't want any speeding penalties or any grid penalties. GTR Lion coming into the pits. See what Carlos can do. He's on an out lap. Di Miles is just cruising. Should be looking after the tyres now. On board with Tekken now. Tekken winding it up on an out lap. We'll soon see all the drivers coming out now to do their last flying lap. Domain Zane on his last flying lap, I would say. No, he's backed out. So Zane is backed out of his lap. Probably had a moment somewhere. GTR Lion coming out. Samad coming out. Tycho should be coming out, I would say. Zane coming in. That's there may be enough time to get in, get a new set of tyres, get out again, but it'll have to be quick. Quite a long lap here as GTR Line comes out. I'm just wondering, will Tycho come out on the softs. We have a Haas leaving the pits now, which is MSA Samad. So we're going to see MSA Samad definitely go quicker on these softs. But he may very well slow just before the line, as a lot of drivers do this to maintain grid position on the mediums. Let's try and find someone further along. Tekken, let's see what Tekken's doing. Nice through there. Wants to stay away from the inside of this turn here. Don't want to ride that curb too much in turn 12. Clean up until now. Don't want to take too much curb here. Nicely let the car drift out. Opens the DRS, stay to the left. And goes a 1:28.7 to take provisional pole for the moment. On board with MSA Samad. So I don't know whether he's at a moment. Or has the rain come? We got rain towards the end of quali. And that will be... Is he going to go for it? And we got a wet race. We got rain coming somewhere around about 20 minutes in, which will be very interesting to see what strategies everyone goes on. Oh, got away with it. I thought he would have definitely invalidated there, but he's got away with it. We'll see what his split is. Big Dave is currently holding pole on a 28.2, though I think there's still a little bit more to come out of the cars. Just maybe some of them's left a little bit too late. On my screen, qualifying is over, but I know there's about a 20-second difference in the times. And he invalidates. Tycho pushing on now. Samad is just going to cross the line to see what he could have done. He would have crossed the line on a 27.5, which is blistering pace. Tycho 1 3/4 tenths up. Closing out the lap. Now I think there's a couple of spots of rain on my screen. Just having a look. Yes, it's raining. But Tycho's still pushing on. It shouldn't affect him. Some of the drivers lower down will start to panic a little bit with droplets. And here comes Tycho across the line. On a 27.4 to go second. GTR Lion now, rounding out his lap. And looking at it, he's backed off. Yeah, he's definitely backed off. Zane goes P3. Good lap from Domain Zane. And looking at it, that's qualifying over. So, on pole we have Big Dave on a 28.2. Second we have Tycho. P3 Domain Zane. Tekken Ogre in 4th. GTR Lion 5th. MSA Samad 6th. Carlos 7th. Miles 8th. Kuna Matata 9th, and rounding out the top 10, Dilmos. Stanman without setting a... Well, he set a time, P11. Egley, Usher in P12, Tactics P13 and CH55 Max no time set in P14 and last. So that's qualifying over. Now I would say the drivers outside the top 10 will definitely start on the mediums. Rain 20 minutes in or towards the end of the race. Mediums will probably get you 20 minutes to the rain. Just waiting for a screenshot. And then we'll have our statutory 2-minute wait, as it is in PSF1. Excuse me. And it looks like we're not going to get any screenshots for the qualifying, but everyone now choosing their setups and what tyres they're going to run on. Be interesting to see what Dylan Moss can do tonight from the back end of the grid. Dylan Moss has been one of the ones to watch out for in recent races. Very quick off the line, normally makes up 3 or 4 places, and he's not afraid to have a go. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do in between of turn 1. But as we could see in qualifying, had MSA Samad not disqualified his lap, disqualified his lap, he'd have blown everyone away. Almost 7/10 of a second quicker than anyone on them soft tyres. So that shows his intention and his pace. Shouldn't be too much longer now, and they'll ready up. And there we are. As the drivers starting to ready up now, they must be happy. As we saw last week, in last week's race, time penalties will play a massive factor again tonight. And no doubt we will see a safety car or two. And here we are. Yes. Big Dave, I think, taking his first pole position of the season. See what he can do from there. We'll drop down through the order now. See what tyres everyone's on. Tycho's on the softs. Domain Zane on the softs. Tekken on the softs. GTR Lion softs. MSA Samad, because he DQ'd his fast lap on the softs, will start mediums. I think, which will work out maybe better for him because the tyres do weigh heavily round here. Carlos on the softs. Dime Miles softs also. Kuna Matata on the mediums. Dilmos on the softs. So we have 2 in the top 10 on the mediums. Stanman, as I said, outside the top 10 mediums. Egliosha starting on the softs. No, me personally, I'd have been on the mediums. Tactics on the mediums, and round out the top 14 drivers. CH55 Max on the mediums. That's the way to go, personally. Turn 12, you want to stay away from the inside of the curbs here. Let the car drift out wide. And all those drivers that's weaving on the installation lap, some of them may not realise that they're picking up tyre wear, one of the features that never used to be in the previous games, as they're now lining up. Hopefully we'll get a good screenshot. There'll be a small delay on my screen when the lights go out, as always with the person streaming and commentating. And here we are, on board with Big Dave now. Wish I had a better camera angle. Lights are out for them. And here we go, and we're building, and away we go for the French Grand Prix. Big Dave gets a good getaway down, heading down now to turn 1. Tycho on his outside, and it looks like to be clean through there. Tycho taken first. There's damage, there's 2 cars round in the background. We'll see who that is. Looking at it as Tekken and GTR Lion, yes. Heavily wing damage on the McLaren of GTR Lion. Tekken, no damage from what I can see, so he's got away very lucky. So GTR Lion's going to have to come in the pits and change that front wing. Back on board now. Let's have a look to see if there's any more damage further down. No. Everyone jockeying for position now. Get back up through the field, checking the damage. On board with Dime Miles, no damage. He's got through unscathed. MSA Samad. Lovely. But the biggest mover, as I said, is Dilmos. From 10th up to 5th. Like I said it in the beginning, he's got the pace to run with the front runners. He needs to get past MSA Samad, needs to knuckle down and concentrate. He's got his teammate all over the back of him now in the way of Dime Miles. Di would love to get past Dilmos. Be a feather in his cap, just Di needs to keep it clean tonight. Egliosha going well. Tycho sets the opening pace of a 1:39.2. Zane in P2. Let's get the movers, and there we can see the biggest changes. Dilmos up 5, Egliosha up 5 places. Brilliant starts from them 2 drivers. The biggest loser, Big Dave, down 2. Domain Zane now coming under a little bit of pressure now from Big Dave behind. Tycho's just controlling the pace at the front at the moment. But I feel we're going to see a pass anytime now from Big Dave. Is he going to try it round the outside? Which I would say no. No, Zane holds on. Kuna Matata start in 9th and stay in 9th. We'll drop back down now, back on board with MSA Samad. On board now with Dilmos. Miles still on his gearbox as Egliusher passes Stanaman. Little bit of argy-bargy going on here, but plenty of room given. It's very, very tight. Looks like Egli will have turn 1. Nice pass there by Egliusher. Bumps him up another place. As we see Dilmos and Miles going through on our screenshot. Going well here. On the Thrustmaster steering wheel. The top 4 separated by less than a second. Dilmos is dropping back now from MSA Samad. The gap is 3.5 seconds. Miles a further 2.5 behind, who's got Egliusher now for company. Egli all on the back of Miles' car. You don't want to go moving on the brake and because it tends to do that. Miles picks up a 3-second time penalty. Yeah, when you've got a car looking at making a move on you, you don't want to go moving about because it unsettles the car that's trying to make the pass. As we can see by Egliusher now, who's just been overtaken by Kuna Matata, who will now be on the back of Miles, as MSA Samad sets the pace on a 1:32.6. Moving up now, Domain Zane dropped 2 places. We've missed that, so I would say Big Dave got past him, hung him out to dry. Tycho still leading. The gap between Tycho and Big Dave 0.8 of a second, 0.4 further behind MSA Samad, but you can still see they're pretty much close together. And Big Dave is getting DRS off Tycho. MSA Samad will be getting the same, and Domain Zane exactly the same off MSA Samad. So they're just towing each other around at the moment. It's quite a long pit stop here, and a slow pit stop in France. We'll drop down now. Dilmos is doing enough to stay in front of Kuna Matata at the moment, but Kuna Matata slowly reeling them in. Kuna Matata on the medium tyres. Their mediums will be helping him a little bit now. Looks like Egliusher is regrouped. Stanman going for a move on the inside, which means Stanman will have the turn for turn 1. Easy move. Not a lot Egli could do in the way of defending from there. Carlos is having a terrible race at the moment. 31 seconds, or practically 31 seconds away from the leader. Egli's going to try and regroup now and start pushing again. Stanman getting DRS off Miles as well as Egliusher. Miles the only one without DRS, sorry, because he's 1.2 behind Kuna Matata. who is 4/10 behind Dilmos. Starting to give Dilmos the hurry up now. But Dilmos is a battler. He won't make it easy for the driver behind him in the Alpha Tauri. And you don't really want to go wheel to wheel with Dilmos. He is a clean driver at the best of times. Got a poor exit there. Kuna Matata now looking to do the overtake, which is an easy movement with the DRS wing open. Dylan slots in behind. So Dylan will probably try and latch onto the back of Kuna Matata to get DRS on the back straight. But we'll see what the gap is now. Dylan's dropping back from Kuna Matata a little bit here. Maybe these mediums now are starting to work. 6 laps in, and you can see Kuna Matata. He's past Dilmos, and he's just gone. 1.2 seconds, 1.3. Dylan's dropping time like dropping a stone in water, like here. 1.5 seconds of gap, and I would say, looking at that, Dilmos is using his ERS battery, and he's not making any inroads whatsoever. The skies look to be darkening a little bit, not much. Get back on front with the leaders. MSA Samad is now taken over at the front. So I think MSA Samad now will control the pace of the race. But we'll see now what pace these mediums have got over the softs. As you can see already, Tycho just picking up DRS. But MSA Samad now should start pulling away from Tycho. As Big Dave picks up his first 3-second time penalty of the race. Stanaman also picking up 3 seconds. Yes, the track is definitely darker now. It's definitely darker. I would say, looking at it, we'll go on board, yes. We're not going to be long, and we're going to start seeing rain appearing. And then it'll be down to the one that's got the biggest ones, who's going to pit first. Tycho, MSA Samad up 5 places. As you can see now, the gap is 2 seconds. Just slowly eke out that lead now. But whether the drivers will go with inters, the full wets, we'll have to see. If it's heavy rain, personally straight to full wets if it's going to be heavy rain. And I think I can see rain. Di Miles retired from the session, safety car. We'll get back down through the order, see if we can find out where Di Miles went. GTR Lion might be able to show us. Oh, Di. As Kuna Matata picks up a drive-through penalty now, that'll be massive. He's currently in P5. That'll ruin his race. As you can't do it under the safety car. So everyone, I would say, is going to be looking at boxing. The medium tyres will be going off. They will cool quicker than the soft tyres. And of course the big thing is we're not going to see what water is on the track, though there shouldn't be much at the moment, but you don't get any spray off the slick tyres. I'm trying to keep an eye on the safety car in front to see if there's any slightest bits of spray off him, but it doesn't look like there be any. Dropping back down through the order now. Kuna Matata, P2. Gonna have to pit after the safety car. I don't know whether it's too early to go for the switch now and go inters. If this has helped one person, it's helped Carlos, because the time that he's all the way behind these drivers. Oh, he's made the switch. Carlos is on inters. Now that will be a wake-up call for the drivers in 12th and 11th and 10th. Stanaman, inters. GTR Lion. Now we're going to start seeing drivers coming in. Egliosha, inters. Good switch. Kuna Matata, disqualified from the session, received multiple warnings. Good switch by Dilmos. As we see Max coming in. Sorry, just leaving. New wing going on, Tekken's car. So he's had damage somewhere along the lines. Coming out of the pits now on the inters. Tactics. Egli ushered up the P6. This is brilliant for him. This is where Egli finished last week. Nice to see Dylan. Starting from 10th up the P5 on the inters. Nice switch. Domain Zane, P4. Big Dave, P3. P2 for Tycho. MSA Samad. The biggest loser. Still on the mediums. Excuse me. Should have boxed. Now that will cost him dearly, because whenever he boxes now, if he boxes now, he's going to come out last and we'll have it all to do. Unless I've got a glitch and he hasn't pitted. But yes, personally, he's the biggest loser out of this. MSA Samad. Should have boxed last lap, intermediates, because he's going to have to box. You can see the water now already. We can see the spray coming off the intermediates. So he's just a sitting duck. So I'm wondering, is he going to come into the pits this lap? I'll be very, very shocked if he stays out. I would say he's got to pit. Looking at the amount of spray that's on coming off these intermediate tyres, MSA Samad would be silly to stay out. As we see him pitting now. And he's disqualified for ignoring yellow flags. Oh my god, that's massive. Disqualified from the session, that is massive. Tycho now taken over back at the front. This will be massive for Tycho. He needs this race win tonight to boost his title hopes. Last year's champion, as we see MSA Samad has left the session. He will be absolutely furious with himself. I don't know what happened with him. Maybe it was passing the safety car. But this gives Tycho a massive chance now. 14 started, we have 11 runners. Looking at the track, personally, I would say it's not far off. Full wets. But we've lap 10, we're just coming towards the end of lap 10, so there'll be 17 laps as they cross the line. Safety car in this lap. We'll get back on board with Tycho as we see the lights go out on the safety car. Excuse me while I just get a slurp. And I'm back, and Tycho now is controlling the pace of the pack behind him. And it's always to be that the driver in front controls the pace, and all the cars behind, they control their pace as well. Tycho bunching him right up now. And it'll just be a matter of time, and he's building up. And here we go. It looks like he's going to hold him right to the line now. Yep. Over the start and finish straight we come now. And he's got to go. And yes, he's off. Caught Big Dave napping a little bit as we have yellow flags. Small bit of lag from P4 from Dilmos. Excuse me. Dilmos is going well here. Got Egliusher on his gearbox as well. And we have Big Dave. Biggest loser, spun. Back on board with Tycho, we have yellow flags in Sector 1. Back on board now with Zane, going well. Dilmos on a podium. Now I would never have said this. So let's hope Dilmos can keep it good. He's got Egliusher for company behind him. And CH55 Max. Currently at the moment there's only 2 people with penalties. Big Dave and Stanaman. 3-second time penalties apiece. Though I think there'll be a few more picking up penalties towards the end of the race. But as we can see, everyone now is jockeying for position again. Just dropping down through the order. CH55 Max now. Up 9 places. As we've got yellow flags again, we've got a car off in the background, which is Dilmos. Had a moment. Unfortunate to see. No one likes to see anyone having a moment. Probably got out of shape going into the fast right-hander. Pushes Egliusher up now, who gets a little shunt from his teammate, who in turn gets a shunt from behind from Tekken. Tekken picks up a 3-second time penalty. Got heavy front right end plate damage from going up the back end of Max. Max now battling to get past, as he does. We've got the 2 teammates of the Ferraris battling. In reality, you want to just settle down, get into a pace. But everyone now can see a podium in front of them. And there's a nice train forming behind Egliusher. I don't think Egli likes this wet weather. I don't know whether he started with dry setup or wet setup. Me personally, I'd have been on a wet setup. Slower initially, but then quicker when the rain came. But his teammate now will feint a move. Egli still holding on. The drivers all behind the Egli train, all bunched up. Not a good sign to see. Excuse me, as we drop down to see what Big Dave is doing. Has he got damage? No. Looks like everyone is unscathed at the moment. The only person I see with damage is Tekken, right end plate. He's going to have to box with that damage, or it's going to cost him too much time. He's not going to have the turning in on, I think it's the right turns. That will affect him and give him loads of understeer. As we can see now, into the pits comes Tekken. So that will have ruined Tekken's race. We're going to see Tekken drop down to the back of the grid. I'm just wondering, will he attempt to go on the full wets? We'll stay on board with Tekken to see what he does. Looking now, and it looks like, yes, set of full wets. I think we'll stay on board now with Tekken. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on the times. Tekken now, see, as we can see, 19 seconds now. It's a very long stop here in France. 22 seconds the gap. But what we'll do is we'll keep an eye on Tekken. as the race progresses to see what the gap is, because if it is time for the switch over, we'll start to see a lot of drivers making the switch over. Back on board now with Tycho. Tycho never envisaged this in his wildest dreams before the race. As we see him going round and coasting now in first place. Domain Zane second. Nice to see him on the podium. Be nice to see if he can keep that podium. Eglios is still holding on to P3 as his teammate goes round the outside of him. So Egley's struggling in the wet weather. I'm just wondering, will he still be running medium traction and no brake assist? It'd be nice to see Egley finish top 5. Dilmos looks to have regrouped, dropped down to P9. He's regrouped and he's back on his way, back up to P6. He's still up 4 places from P10 starting. But as we can see, Dilmos has a penalty. I would say that's just 1 3-second time penalty. Won't help him in his quest for a podium. Dilmos, lovely pass. Pass tactics there in the P5. Now he'll start pushing now for Egley. Tekken dropping back. The gap is now 31 seconds. I would say, yeah, definitely the full wet's wrong tyre to be on. He's lost 5 seconds, nearly 6 seconds to Carlos. As we can see how far Tekken is behind. Barring any more incidents, the race win is a 4. Oh, we have a sector. Dilmos is retired. That's massive. And we have a full safety, virtual safety car. Everyone now will have to back off and remain to a delta, keeping it in the green. If, just by a glimmer of a chance, you're caught on the red, it'll be a drive-through penalty. Not very nice, as I've had one myself in the past. Everyone now sticking to a delta, as you'll see cars backing off dramatically, trying to keep it in the green. GTR Lion, drive-through penalty. Speeding under the virtual safety. That's ruined his race. Big Dave on the move. Rain looks like to be getting a little bit heavier. Lap 15 of 27. 15 down, 12 to go, 13 including this one. Egley's just doing enough to keep it ahead of Tactics. But it looks like Egley's teammate, CH55 Max, is just pulling away here from Egley. Up 11 places. Started last. P3. Brilliant drive up until now. Zane there in P2. Almost 4 seconds behind the leader. He'd be happy to finish with a podium tonight. And Tycho, there we go, 4 seconds the gap. Leading the race. We'll try and get a word with Tycho after the race tonight. Domain Zane crossing the line now. CH Max is 10 seconds behind. GTR Lion comes in the pits to do his drive-through penalty. I'm hoping he's not going to retire. He'll keep going. It's guaranteed points for everyone tonight now, with Dilmos retiring. And under a drive-through, you cannot pit. Miles leaves the party. And off goes GTR Lion. Tekken still out on them wets. Who was an absolute country mile behind GTR Lion. You can see GTR Lion's heading down the hill now. Turn 3, turn 4. And Tekken's just crossing the line. But we'll keep an eye on the times to see what Tekken's doing on the wets, because it might be that the switchover might be now. Looking at the track, it's wet enough for full wets. Tycho still doing well out front. 5 seconds the gap. We'll let Tycho be. Domain Zane still going well in second place. Max not making any real inroads to Domain Zane. They're still hovering around about 10, 10.1. Small bit of movement in the Ferrari. Eggley still going well in P4. Got Tactics 7/10 of a second behind him. Tactics seems to have a bit of a train going on behind him with Big Dave and Stanaman and Carlos as well. Now thinking about it, Carlos was 28 seconds behind everyone, now he's back in the mix. So Carlos could be looking at, if he can get past these 3 or 4 in front of him, he could be looking at 4th place himself. Down into turn 1 we come. Big Dave now lining up Tactics. Stanaman picking up a 3-second time penalty. Won't help his chances in moving up to the grid at the checkered flag. Tactics now very, very defensive now. An old hat at this, Tactics, been around some time. Since the early days of PSF1. But everyone guaranteed points now tonight. Since Kuna Matata was disqualified, MSA Samad was disqualified, Miles crashed out, and Dilmos has crashed out. Everyone guaranteed points. So I think everyone will be just doing enough to not crash out. Tactics now all over the back of Eggley Usher's gearbox. And pushing hard. We'll go on board now with Big Dave to see if he can do anything. Obviously in the rain now the DRS has been deactivated, so there's no DRS. Everyone's using battery power now and going into the overtake mode. But of course Tactics will be doing the same. As you can see, Max has picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Max is pitting. We'll see if he's going to go onto the full wets. Max making the switch to the full wets. Now, is this the turning point? Tactics boxing. As we see, the Reynolds are out in the pits. Full wets going on the force on the racing point of Tactics. As we can see, the Reynolton of Stanaman. Big Dave behind on full wets. Eggley Usher P2. I don't know. Oh, Zane's pitted. So Eggley Usher will be talking now and asking Domain Zane, how are these tyres feeling? We'll go on board. Yep. There we are. On the full wets. And I would say, yeah, it's definitely time to switch over. Eggley Usher now. Tycho's pitted, so Eggley Usher seems to be the only one that's out of position. So we'll go on board. Carlos on full wets. Tactics on full wets. Stanaman on full wets. Big Dave's on full wets. GTR Lion still on the mediums. Max on the full wets. Domain Zane full wets. Eggley will be struggling. Puddles of water, yeah, you can see he's struggling. He's got no grip. He will have to box. He's getting a small bit of wheel spin. I would say he'll box in this lap. Yes. Nicely into the pits, 37 mile an hour. So we'll see Egley now drop down through the field. He should come out somewhere behind his teammate. There we go, full set of wets on. And out he goes, full set of wets. Max coming across the line now, passes Egley. GTR Lion coming across the line now. Gets past Egley. Big Dave past Egley. Stannerman past Egley. Egley comes out P7. That's massive for him. But the good thing is if Egley can settle into a rhythm now on these wet tyres, on these full wets, the drivers in front of him have penalties. Stannerman, I would say, has got 6 seconds. Big Dave, 3 seconds. And CH55 Max, he's got 3 seconds. This will come down at the end of the race like it did last week. Penalties you don't want in a wet race. It's like if there's a late crasher and another safety car, that'll be massive because you can't pull out 6 seconds or 9 seconds on the car behind you with 4 laps remaining in full wet conditions. Moving up through the field now, Stannerman now. On the back of Dave, just under a second the gap. Yeah, you want to really drop it out of 8th and go round there in 7th, like Stannerman did. Stay away from the curbs in turn 12 here now, as we're heading up now. GTR Lion staying out on them mediums. Sorry, not mediums, on the inters. Maybe he knows something that we don't know, as he's boxing. That's going to drop him way down the field. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't come out last. Stannerman's passed. Egley obviously is going to go past up to 6th place. GTR Lion's away. Carlos now looking to pass him. Carlos has passed. Tekken is the only one that's not going to pass him, as GTR Lion's just exiting now, and he'll hang on to P9. Left it too late. You can see the gap now between Tycho and Domain Zane. 7.3 seconds is the gap. No one, I don't think anyone will be stopping now unless the sun was miraculously to come out. Let's see what Zane does, whether he takes flat in 8th. Yeah, drops back to 7th. That's the safe bet. Max going well in P3 here. Big Dave, whether he can make any inroads on CH55 Max. Excuse me. I'm going to nip to the toilet quick. I'm going to leave you in the capable hands as Big Dave retires from the session. So Big Dave has lost it. There he is there on the right hand side. He's at a massive moment coming out of turn 10. So sector 3 yellow flags. Tekka moves up a place to P9. So now we're down to 9 runners from 14. Egley 6 seconds back from Stannerman, who is 8 seconds back from Max. I'll leave you in the capable hands of Stannerman while I nip to the toilet quickly. And I'm back with you now. Still on board with Stanaman. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know whether Domain Zane has lost connection or whether I've lost connection. I hope it's not on my side, but Domain Zane has left a party chat. So, can we see on board? Does his car look like to be ghosting? Yes, Domain Zane lost connection. He's back online. So Domain Zane must be having internet connection problems, because I said it came up on the screen unable to chat. Though his car doesn't look like it's lost any time. Tycoon here in a league of his own. The gap 9.5 seconds to Domain Zane. As we see, CH55 Max has got a time penalty. Stanaman time penalties, Tactics time penalties, Egliosher, the only one that is clean and cleared at the moment apart from GTR Lion and the two front runners. Now we've got problems on my screen now. It's saying Zane is 1 lap down. But I'm hoping that it's not down to me. No, we're still live. So I don't see it being down to me. It's got to be down to Zane's connection, as I've got 3 spectators watching. Domain Zane has rejoined the session. We can see now that the time difference has cost him a massive amount of time. Cost him 5 seconds. This allowed Max to come within 7.5 seconds of him. But Zane now, I would say, is back in his car. Have a look now on board. Yeah, I would say, yeah, looking at it, he's back in the car. Max getting the gap now down under 7 seconds. Max is up 11 places, Stanaman up 7, Tactics up 8, Egliosher is up 6. If Egli can do a little bit more and get on the back of seems to have lost the timing on the screens. I don't know whether that's going to sort itself out anytime soon. Come on. Yeah, it looks like it's to be sorting itself out, yeah. Thank God. CH55 Max now 6.5 seconds behind Domain Zane. Stanaman a further 5.3 behind, as we're waiting for the timing screens to come back. And there we are. Egliosher now is starting to push Tactics. It looks like the rain is... Yeah, you don't want to do that too many times, Egli. Looks like the rain is getting a slightly bit lighter. I don't know whether it would be into now, but I would say it's too late now into the race with 3 laps to go, well, 4 laps to go including this one. We'll get off board there. Carlos in the P7, start of P7, GTR Lion 9 seconds behind him, and Tekken now on, I would say definitely on, yeah, on Inters. See what he can do now against GTR Lion on the Inters, whether it will force GTR Lion into thinking, well, maybe go for the fastest lap. But I would have said the fastest lap of the race would have been set on the dry tyres. Let's get back up onto Egli. 1.8 seconds behind Tactics. If it finishes now, Egley jumps him on time penalties. Stanman is now slowly starting to chip away at CH55 Max. But I don't think Stanaman can do much about Max in front, because Max has less time penalties than Stanaman. The only one, had they have been closer, that would have benefited would have been Tactics. Egley's dropping back. The main Zane now, yes, back in the car. Tycho, 16 seconds, he can ease off now and just cruise. But with 3 laps to go, including this one, anything can happen. Touch any one of the curbs the wrong way and spin. But the main Zane going very well here tonight. Looking at P2. But the biggest mover of the night is CH55 Max. Started last, P3. This is a dream for him. Stanaman's trying to do everything he can behind. The gap still holding, 3.1 to 3 seconds. Tycho coming across the line to start his second to last lap. He can just cruise now. Tycho, the win in the bag. The main Zane now just crossing the line. Max can he can take it a little bit easier. Stanaman's pushing as hard as he can. It's down to 2.5 seconds now, the gap. Egley's doing his utmost to try and get on the back of Tactics again. The rain has definitely got lighter here, though there's still a lot of water on the track. On board now with Stanaman. Tactics got Egley all over his trumpet now. Egley drifting out slightly wide there. Egley just needs to regroup now and just concentrate on this last lap. Tactics picks up a 3-second time penalty. Not going to help him in his quest. Egley will jump him straight away. Carlos could also jump Tactics, all depending on what penalties Tactics has got. We will see come the end of the race. The gap now between Stanaman and Max, down to just hovering above a second. Now it's down to 9/10. And then it's a further 19 seconds back to Tactics. Egley now looks like to have regrouped. He needs just to concentrate for one more lap. Tycho on his last lap. Dropping down now. Into the double right-hander. Into the left for the back straight. Back on board now with Stanaman. Looking to make a move on Max. This is the only battle. We'll get back on board now, see where Tycho is. Just coming out of the last of the back straight. Stanaman making a beautiful move up the inside of CH55 Max. Now Max has got to stay on the back of him if he's going to guarantee himself that podium. Tycho now coming up to the fast right-hander. Gently lifts going around there. Fantastic race from Tycho tonight. Stayed out of trouble. Was there to pick up the pieces when it mattered the most. MSA Samad was the biggest loser. Should have pitted earlier to get off the mediums. We have yellow flags, so we've had a moment from someone. Back on board with Stanaman. And it looks like Tactics is at a moment. And Tycho crosses the line to win the French Grand Prix. Congratulations to Tycho on picking up 25 points tonight. Zane now. Looks like he will stay P2. Little bit of a back end stepping out there. Zane now coming across the line. Congratulations to Zane picking up P2. Unlucky for him, losing connection. On board with Stanman now. Max has had a massive moment somewhere along the lines. Stanman crosses the line to take P3. Now, can Max do anything about it? Tactics retires from the session. My God. With 9 runners, why he retired is beyond me. Max comes across to hang on to P4. GTR Lion. Will he make up any places? Stays P5. Carlos stays P6. Tekken P7. Egley clean and clear. I would say finished P7. Yeah, Tekken drops back to 8th place. We'll just get the timing screen. Max got driver of the day. Don't know what happened to Max. As we have Tycho skip into the podium. Congratulations to Tycho on winning the race. Well deserved. We'll just get the time screens now and then we'll try and get hold of Tycho. And as we can see, Tycho takes first place. Domain Zane picks up a good second. Stanaman, nice third place finish. As we can see, for time penalties here, Max wouldn't have held on to P3 anyway. GTR Lion, clean and clear, picking up P5. Carlos P6. Egley P7. Tycho P8. And last, but looks like Tactics just getting classified, which I don't know whether he will or not because he failed to finish the race. Just going into the settings now to see if I can get hold of anyone. Just unmute everyone. Alright lads. What happened in the race, Egley?
Okay.
Can anyone hear me? What happened, Dylan?
Oh, Taffy. Hello, Taffy.
All right, mate. What happened to Dylan? Yeah.
We back, boys.
Yeah. What happened, Dill?
I just dropped it.
Yeah.
Like, I pulled some mega double overtake on the McLarens, which you missed because you were too busy licking Egley's arse out. I hope you're not still streaming.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, lovely. Well, still, what has been said, so who cares?
Yeah.
But yeah, I pulled some gobbly double overtake on both the McLarens, and then when I was chasing Egley down for what was like I think 4th place, I dropped it in the same corner that I dropped it in like 3 laps earlier.
You had a brilliant start, Dylan.
Oh yeah, like the start was great. I dodged some absolute pile up in front of me, went off the track, made 5 illegal overtakes, and kept every position, so it was fine.
Are you still playing this when you're off work at all? Because I said in the last race, and I said in the race prior to that your starts have come on a lot. I noticed it last season as well.
I generally just don't play the game.
Oh, right.
I'm just good off the line. Egley had a good start as well, to be fair, actually.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of his launch, yeah, his fucking launch was great. Because as soon as I got into second gear, like, That Egley, medium traction, right? That's why I'm so good off the starts.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw you dropping like a stone, and I thought, what the hell's the matter, like? Because I think... Oh. Huh? Oh, it was into his tyres, was it? Yeah. Alright, Starman.
Morgen. Hello.
Congratulations on the win, Tycho.
Thank you, thank you.
You didn't see that coming tonight?
No, definitely not.
No. What happened to Samad then? Had he just stayed out too long and then overtook the safety car?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he definitely stayed out too long when the rain started hitting. And
Yeah, I said on stream he was the biggest loser. He should put it the lap earlier.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think, yeah, he overtook safety car when he went in and that disqualified him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and I said it because who else got DQ'd? Samad and someone else. I don't remember who. I don't care.
Wasn't it Kuna Matata?
Yeah, Kuna Matata.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was Kuna. Yeah. So, but both of them have overtaken the safety car coming into the pits just because of the way the pit entry is.
Yeah.
And it undercuts the final corner. So yeah.
I bet though, when you saw that pop up on the screen, Tycho, you were rubbing your hands.
I mean, I was already rubbing my hands when I saw he didn't pit the safety car and rain coming.
And
I mean, he was always going to go to the back of
to
the back of the field then.
And there was no way back from him from the back of the field.
I mean, in the rain, and we had some guys running dry setups, I think, so they were pretty quick on the straights.
Yeah.
So in the rain, it was going to be really tough to get back from the back.
Yeah. And a good podium for you tonight as well, Stanman.
Yeah, I enjoyed the drive.
Yeah,
At the end.
I thought Max had less penalties than you, and I thought if Max can just hold on to the back of you. Yeah, you overtook him, and I thought maybe Max has got less penalties than you. I only thought he had a 3 second.
No, he had a 5 second pen for speed in the pits when you put the wets on.
So that spoiled
and I had
his...
6 seconds, so I needed to overtake him. Made a late launch, locked both my tires in the front, but made it work at the end.
So where does that put you in the points now, Tycho?
I think it's 4 points behind No Future.
So what are we now? We're 4 races in?
Yeah.
With 8 to go? Yes, this could be good towards the end of the season now.
I hope so.
Yeah. Because I don't think, looking at like tonight, MSA sort of No Future to see is going to have it all his own way this season. It's like I said you earlier in the chat. I can't see it. And you're there to pick up the pieces.
I mean, yeah, if he just stays consistent, he will win the championship, no doubt about it. But like races like this, then I have to be there and pick it up.
I'm hoping that I'll get to see Not Penny's Boat 44 racing this season, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Because I know he's probably still watching the stream. Because we're still live at the moment. But yeah, it's nice to see where they're coming into a race. It livens it up. Tell me, was you running a dry setup, Egley, or a wet?
No downforce.
Yeah, the ugly train, as I called it.
I was about to say, like, safety car research and me and Zame are gone.
Yeah. I'm glad you did, because my fucking internet, I had a heart attack.
I saw that. I thought, no, I hope I haven't lost connection here. And then I saw that you'd lost chat, and I thought, oh, yes, it's not me. But that cost you about 7 seconds, that did.
I know. I'm surprised I didn't lose more. I thought I'd been overtaken left, right, and centre, knowing the AI around in Wets.
Yeah, well, the AI must have been set pretty high anyway. Yeah, that's pretty high, that is, for the wet. Right, I'm going to end the stream, but thanks for tonight, everyone. All right. Yeah, and we'll see you all again next week.